Here we go, it's the penultimate match of the tournament and we're looking for the opponent of JDG in the grand finals. It is BLG against T1, both teams lost once, so it's no excuse in this match, it's win or go home for another time for both teams. And we will waste no precious time, and up straight into Game 1.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Welcome to the lower bracket finals. Only the best 3 teams of the world are left in this tournament. It's the second seeds from LPL and LCK going against each other. BLG starting from the blue side with Bin on the Jax, Sun on the Viego, Yagao playing the Annie, Elk on the Zeri, and on the Lulu. On for T1 it's Zeus, on the Gragas, Ona on the Wukong, Fake on Lysandra, Gumayushi playing the Xayah, and Carrier goes with the Rakan. 3 minutes into the game, we're going for the first gank. It's Sun on the Viego coming in with a Spectral Ball and they take out the Zeri of Gumayushi. He tanks the tower aggro, gets out of range, and now they're going back in for Carrier, but Sun, this time, he will take some tower shots and he goes down. And this definitely was not intended by BLG, nonetheless they're going for Carrier, but Oni will fall as well, and so it's a 2-for-2 trade, and we go into the bot side jungle for the Dragon. Faker going into the Frozen Tube now. He will buy some time for Ona to take the Dragon, but the stun to Miss of Yagao will be the beginning of the first respawn counter for the T1 mid laner. We see now here 2 minutes later with the Glacial Path into the Ring of Frost on Yagao. He goes into the Frozen Tomb until Ona comes in with a flash, cycling, and the screen of Yagao turns grey. But Sun and Bin there not ready to let this Herald go just yet. Bin goes in with the leap into the counter-strike on Faker. But nonetheless Ona, he will take the objective, and now soon he only finds the clone of Ona. But together now with Bin and the incoming bot laners, they're now chasing down the Wukong until he's taken out, and Elki's in a lightning crash now chaining his Q on Zeus and on Faker. They're both looking for protection under the turret. Elk, he fires the W and then he flashes in, but he gets knocked off by the Gragas body slam. Both T1 player will fall, but also Elk will find the screen grayed out, and we go into the bot lane where we see Guma and Carrier going for Yagao. Guma takes a tower shot and accidents with a Feather Storm. Second Dragon goes to BLG and it's Faker with a Glacial Path into the Frozen Tomb trying to fight Elk, but Yagao with a Flash Timber, he stuns Ona and Carrier there. They're going for Elk. They will take down the BLG ADC, but Ona will fall. Carrier goes down by the hands of the ruined King Sun, who's now going mad and beating up Gumayushi. The Xayah recalls her feathers, but it won't save her from the fatal stab of the Viego, and now Faker left with no chance to survive there as well. Now we see Ona in the BLG jungle in kind of an awkward situation, and he gets detected, and it's this very moment his fate is sealed because Elk and Sun, they're already too close for the Wukong to reach any execution, and he gets sent back to the grey screen. So the Herald will be taken by BLG, the outer turret in the top lane as well. The third Dragon of the game goes to T1, it will be their second, and we see Shelly now crushing in the outer turret of T1, but they won't be happy about it because now they're going for an engage in the bot side river, and they will find Sun with a full rotation on the Lysandra, including the Everfrost, the Gragas, old Carrier with his charm. The Viego just gets slaughtered, but nonetheless BLG they return 2 minutes later to take the outer turret, and then another 2 minutes later it's Sun taking the next Dragon. Ona goes for Elk with the dash cycling, but he gets stunned by the Annie. His health bar is shredded away, but together with Guma and Carrier they take out Lulu. In the meantime Faker, he tried to take out Elk, but his damage was not enough. He's in the Zonya, comes back out of it and gets sent back to the base by the ADC of BLG. And up in he goes with the flashy on Guma. He gets so low, but Carrier comes in with the battle dance and he saves his ADC. Bin goes down. Both ADCs still alive. And Ona dishes and bottles with the Wukong gets slain by Elk. He seems to be unkillable until Zeus comes in and proves his mortality. And now Yagao. Grey screen for an 8 in favor for T1. And the LCK second seed takes the tier 1s in bot and mid lane. The next Dragon lands in the pockets of Ona after a little bit of a smite fight with Sun. And we're already 29 minutes into the game as we see Bin there taking the tier 1 for BLG, and we go into the topside river seeing Yagao there with a stun on 2 members of T1. One of them will be the stout Gragas that's sent to his base by an outraging BLG squad that is now going for the Baronesha. Ona he gets stunned, but then he dashes out, goes into the pit, he's sneaky. Nobody sees him. Faker blocks him with a Frozen Tomb. The Baron is getting low right. Ona, he steals it. Faker, he stays behind in the Zonyas. He will be slain, and the rest of T1 they have to get get out of there. The three members with the Baron buff. How many of them will survive? Ona really low. Guma, he returns to fire. He will get caught, but he saves to retreat for Kara and Ona. BLG, they will tie the dragons at soul point now for both teams. And we skip to the next dragon. The guy with the flash Tibbers tries to keep T1 at bay, but Ona, he goes into the pit and the Master Thief picks another artwork from right under the noses of BLG. It's out C1 now with Dragon Soul in the next team fight. Kara with the engage on Yagao. He goes into the Zonyas, but as he comes out of it, he will stun Faker, who has to answer back with his Frozen 2 before he falls. Soon as the Guardian Angel procs on Faker, he extended the stasis with the Zonyas off his own, and soon he will go down. And so it's T1 taking the Baron. And 2 minutes later, we see them in the top lane, tearing down the inner turret, and now going for the inner and the mid lane as well. Ono goes in with the Nimbus Cyclone and help, but the Zeri just slips away, returns to fire and forces the Wukong into the Guardian Angel. He got through his Tibbers, but he will be just evaporated by Faker and Guma. But nonetheless, Ono will follow BLG there, now going for it. Pin hops into everybody, goes to the Zonyas. Wilson and El just destroy the bot lane of T1. Well, Faker tries to get away, and Zeus in the Zonyas just delays the misery, and BLG now with death timers of more than 40 seconds. They might have just won the game and they are going now for the base. Faker already returned. He's the lone survivor for the team from the LCK on the ice, which leads Sandra. But all he can do is watch BLG taking down their inhib turret. Now they're going for the Nexus. Faker goes in, tries to buy some time on the Frozen Tomb. Kara returns Faker again, extends the stasis with the Zonyas. But you got with the double stun Tibbers, initiates another double kill for Hulk on the Zeri. Ona with a desperate, what the hell should I do now? Engage, he will fall, and BLG, they take down the Nexus, they take game 1. And the lead on the series. Game number 2, both teams switched sides and T1 they try not to succeed from the blue corner. It's Zeus on the cannon, Owen on the Maokai, Fake on the Jace, Gumayoshi on the Aphelios, and Carrier goes with the Nautilus. And for BLG, they come back into this one with Bin on the Scion, Sun on the Kindred, Yagao on the Silas, and in their bot lane it's the raging madness of the Jinx played by Elk to be completed by on the Lulu. 4 minutes into the game, we see Ona there chased through his own jungle on the Maokai by Sun and Yagao, but now Zeus comes in at the tables turn this fight. Or will they not? Everyone's now at half HP or below. Ona with the twisted advance now, and Sun and the Kindred will fall, and now all are going for Yagao. He flashes away, Bin comes in, but this decimating slash will miss. Yagao can make his way out of there, but Bin on the sign is left for the glory and death. Sun now ganking the mid lane together with Yagao. They're going for Fake of the Mountain Drag. Stats up 3 times for the massive Wolf Pounds, but it will be the chain lash of the Silas taking down the T1 mid laner. Ona secures the Herald for his team, but BLG they will take the first dragon of the game, and we go immediately into the bot lane where we see a Jinx there, hooked by Carrier. Guma, he's already low. Seems to be in safe distance, but then a zap like a sniper shot comes in by the BLG ADC. Massive W, but now Carrier with the drench line pulls him in. Riptide, he's in the lamp rest, but not Oda. He Bramble smashes him out of it into the misery. And now, with the help of the mighty Rift Lady, T1 is pushing the bot lane, tearing down the tier 1, getting off a second charge onto the tier 2, but they will have to trade it for the outer turret in the top lane, and now we're at the same to see Zeus there being ganked on by 3 members of BLG, and he's condemned to death, and we hop back into the bot lane, where it's first a 1v1 of Ona against Bin, but now Carrier comes in with a dredge lane, and also Gumayushi gets closer. The Scion tries to get away with his onslaught, but it's body blocked there by Ona. Great anticipation by him there on the Maokai, and now Bin goes into the glory of death again. BLG they take the next dragon as we almost missed the onslaught of Bin there, knocking up Zeus under the turret, and it's Cannon sends the cannon back to the base. Ona taking the second herald of the game, as well as Yagao's tearing down the outer in the bot lane. Yota in the mid lane destroyed just moments later. Faker destroys the tier 1 in the top lane, and BLG after almost 20 minutes they take soul point. And now we skip 5 minutes to see Sun taking Dragon Soul for BLG. The rest of his team is in the topside river. Yagar with the stolen Maokai ult, Roots, Guma and Faker. Then he goes into the Zonias, but it will be Ben on the side and taking down the T1 mid laner. Well, Ilk and Sun are going for Zeus to Grey Screen the cannon. The rest of T1 now escaping through their own jungle. Ona gets slowed, stunned, goes back in with a twisted advance into the Grey Screen, and also Carrier won't survive. Only Guma Yushi escapes. But just for so long until Yagao decides to go in with the stolen Moonlight Fitzgerald to take him out as well and score the ace. He will take the inner turret. The rest of his team, the mighty Baronesh, and with the buff there now stampeding through the jungle of T1. The Carrier gets abducted by the Silas and slain by the Kindred, and now it's the onslaught on Ona. The blast cone takes him away. He throws out his roots, but it won't be enough to stop Sun on a Kindred from a double kill. And with a numbers advantage of 2, BLG they can now break into the base of T1. The mid lane inhib crumbles. The inhibitor itself follows just seconds later. And now left Zeus on the cannon isolated. Elk is going for his tweeting his fish bones, and the Maniac Jinx doesn't care for turret shots at all. BLG deliriously going for the engine, taking down the Nexus turrets. It's 3 members as Carrier has returned, but he's sent back to the fountain in an instant. Faker and Ona practically unable to take a step out of the fountain onto solid ground because BLG, they are just too strong. The Nexus of T1 will be shattered for the second time in this series, which means BLG advances towards match point. It's match point game number 1 in this lower bracket finals, which means BLG they're just one step away from the grand finals, and T1 just one misstep away from elimination from the tournament. BLG they're now starting again from the red side with Ben on the Gwen, Sun on the Kindred, Yagar on the Galio, Elk on the Zeri, and on plays Selulu. On for T1 it's Zeus on the Jax, Ona on the Kha'Zix, Fake on the K'Sante, Gumayushi on the Xayah, and Carrier on the Rakan. First save of the game after 4 minutes now on Gumayushi, and with no battle damage to the world, Carrier would have saved his ADC. But it's just a minute later, the 2 bot laners are looking for some revenge. It's a grand entrance connecting to On, and the little yordle there just gets mutilated. The first dragon of the game about to be taken by BLG until the Master Thieves decides to land another coup. Ona steals it. And just half a minute later, it's Carrier with a battle answer to the grand entrance. Great EW combo by the Rakan, initiating the next kill for Guma. Fight for Herald now. Sun is going for the objective, about to take it down, but Zeus, he comes in with a leap strike on the Jax. The after Herald hasn't been collected yet. It will be picked up by Sun. He goes solo, goes into the left respite, and it's the hero's entrance of Yagar. But it won't save his jungler from the death fake, and isolating Bennett in a Herald pit. It's L going wild. Yagar will go down, but LT trades back 2 for his team as Faker slaying Ben in the meantime, and now they're going for the lowly Zeri. But the Zeri has some capacity left. Faker goes in, shielded by Carrier. Has to respect the burst fire, then Guma with the flash feather storm, and Carrier finally extinguished the spark of Dawn. And now T1 taking the next dragon as we see Shelly now crushing in their outer turret. And another 2 minutes later, it's Faker now against Ben in the mid lane. He pulls the ground in with a stack Q into the leap of Own, and together they will just destroy the hell of Seamstress. T1, they will then take the second herald of the game, and we see Shelly on the bottom right screen crushing into the outer turret in the mid lane after almost 17 minutes, where we are now fighting for the next dragon, and it's Faker taking the BLG jungler with all out of the pit. In the midst of 4 members, he activates his Pathmaker and escapes with a footwork alive. The rest of his team took out Ben and the dragon, and Zeus goes in with a flash Q on Sunu stays alive and lamps rest, but only for so long. And out T1 there going for Alk and Yagao, but Alk again refuses to die. He takes a double kill before he goes down. But nonetheless, in the end, it will be an ace for the team from the LCK. They took Soul Point. And we see them in the bot lane, in the top lane, and now also in the mid lane, taking down all 3 outer turrets. Before we now skip this replay to see Zeus with a leap strike on his role opponent Ben, taking another kill, and we hop into the topside jungle, where we see Carrier with his W for the entrance and E for the exit, waiting for Zeus on the Jax, charging his E, leaping in with the Q, but it will be denied by the Justice Punch of the Galio. Nonetheless, Yagar and Sun already know. The Lamp's Respite keeps him alive. Faker finds Elk with us all out, but he finds himself too deep into the enemy lines, just like Yagar, and both will be sent to the grey screen. 22.5 minutes into the game, it's Mountain Soul for T1, and we find ourselves at the Baroness. It's already low. Faker, he flashes out of the pit to distract Sun and prevent a potential steal by him as his team takes the Baron. And the trade says Faker for the Nash buff. And after almost 26.5 minutes, the LCK second seed has demolished the inner mid lane and the inner bot lane turret. And now it's on with the lead, followed by the gale force of Guma. Elk grinds away with half HP there, followed by Carrier and by Zeus. But on Nikao, the flying with Flash and Ultimate, they take out Carrier. But nonetheless, T1, they're just too strong in the 3v3 with the remaining members on the top screen. It's Faker against Bin, Faker against low, but Zeus swings his Brazier, ready for the follow-up. Leap strike, he finds Bin for the stun and the kill. And so T1, they will take the Elder Dragon, followed not even a minute later by the Baronesha. Guma and Carrier, they take out the last standing inner turret on the sides of BLG, and after 31 minutes, with more than a 10k gold lead, T1, they're now finally going for the base. And they're coming from all sides, the mid lane in it falls. They immediately turn for the top side. Now the bot side in it falls last. And it's only the Nexus turret standing to be the last structure on the base of BLG, and the base, it crumbles more and more. T1, they're just too far ahead on levels and on items to be fended off by their opponent. But the Elder buff runs out in a couple of seconds, and BLG, they're playing for time, but all of a sudden Bin takes a huge chunk of damage, goes into the Zhonya's. Elk is caught as well, trapped there by Zeus, who jumps into the back line, so desperately trying to save his team with his Lamb's Respite, but within the second, 4 members of BLG, they go down. And so does the Nexus and T1. They refuse to be eliminated from the tournament and extend the series to a Game 4. T1 denying the elimination from the tournament in the game before. They're now looking for more. They want the miracle comeback against BLG that is now starting from the blue side with Ben on the Fiora, Son on the Kha'Zix, Yagao on the Nautilus, Elk on the Zeri, and on, going with the Lulu. For the team from Korea, it's Zeus on the Jax again, on the Wukong. Faker now playing the Ahri. Just like on the other side, the bot lane stays the same. Guma playing the Sire, and Carrier on the Rakan. And it's a bit of a split screen action here on the left side. We see Yagao there getting chomped by Faker, now chased down by Ona on the Wukong. Yagao with the stretch line still on the cooldown will be taken out for first blood, and we go into the bot lane, where we saw Sun on the Apex Predator. Kha'Zix already waiting, and now he leaps in on Gumayushi. Second kill of the game goes to the BLG jungler. Now they're looking for Carrier. He gets chased by Sun, and he flashes under the turret, but there's an angry order with an even angrier companion picks to take the kill. First dragon of the game goes to BLG. We go back into the bot lane for kind of a deja vu. Sun again with the leap, or Gumayushi is taken down, but this time Carrier won't be left alone. Zeus teleports in, and also Faker goes for the hunt deep into their own jungle. They chase down the Kha'Zix. Faker with a spirit rush into the Foxfire, and T1, they take their vengeance. They take the first herald of the game, and we go into the top lane to see Zeus and Ben. The Jax going in with the leap strikes, activates his E, and we will find the stun on Ben, who queues away, then flashes under his turret, but Zeus is going deliriously for the kill, ready to pay for it with his own life. About 12 minutes into the game, we see BLG taking the second dragon off the game, and now we see Shelly there in the bot lane, destroying the outer turret for the first turret gold. On favor for the LCK second seed. Tekar with the dredge line of the Nautilus into the depth charge, and Carrier won't find his feet grounded before he gets killed. BLG, they collect the second herald, and we see Shelly here crushing into the outer in the mid lane. And we're going for the third dragon of the game. Can Agent Ona strike again? No, this time the objective will be saved by Sun, and it's soul point for BLG. And they take the outer in the mid lane and in the bot lane as well. And we go back into the mid lane, 22.5 minutes into the game. Reguma gets into heavy trouble. It's a depth charge of Yagao into his stretch line. At the leap of Sun will take out the ADC of T1. BLG, they are now taking Dragon Soul as well. The outer top lane to it. But now it's Ona finding Elk with the engage, followed by the Ahri charm, Everfrost, and everything is thrown at the Zeri. But Yagao on the Nautilus, he stands strong at Benny, teleports now and flashes off the Guma, takes him out with a Fiora at the tables turn, and this fight Faker now trying to get away, using the blast cannon into a desperate attempt for a teleport back to his base, and back to his base he will go, but not before the respawn counter has run out. And now we're going for the Baroness Soon and on in the pit, burning down itself by his pin, and Yagao trying to keep 4 members of T1 at bay. Zeus now flashing into the pit and leaping out. They take out Bin and Yagao, both will fall. But soon and on they will stay. They want to have this Baron owner. He cannot have that a bit, and so Sun will secure it for BLG. Now they're chased into their own jungle. Zeus with a leap strike takes one down, gets slain, and out. On the Zeri grinds in to take a second kill for BLG. And they will take now the inner turrets in the bot and in the mid lane where they're gathered now. And Faker, he finds the engage on Elk. Gives them a full rotation and he's forced into the stopwatch, which will just delay his misery. And now also Yagao trapped, waiting in the stopwatch for his screen to turn grey. And this could be the silver lining for T1. They're now going for the Elder Drake. Bin in the meantime taking down the inhibitor in the bot lane. Well, Sun is ready to sacrifice his life for the Elder Dragon, but Agent Owner says mission accomplished. The dragon is ours, and also Sun is slain at T1. 1.5 minutes later, taking down the outer turret in the mid lane, then on the top lane before we go into their topside jungle where Gao flashes over the wall and finds Faker with the step charge. But it's Carrier who will be knocked up as well and just torn apart there by BLG, who are now taking the Baron Asher and the inner turret on the top lane before they're going for the base of T1. Where Gao gets rooted by the blade call of Gumayushi. He takes some damage, is forced into the stopwatch, comes out of it and almost gets killed. He survives with little HP. But in the meantime, BLG, they could take down the inner turret and now they're going for the inhib next. The bot side inhib already respawned, but now it's about to be broken into pieces again. But for T1, there's still a glimmer of hope, but it is called the Elder Dragon owner now. Dashing and flashing in with the cycling, he tries to find Elk, but he's taking a huge chunk of damage, but so soon on the other side, both junglers now in the Guardian Angel. But Gumayushi has been already taken out, T1 without an ADC and now without Faker. Carrier falls as well, and now it's only Owner and Zeus counting the seconds for the ultimate grey screen in this tournament. Because BLG, they have now won this game, and with it, the series. They will proceed to the grand finals of the tournament, where they will meet JDT, the team that has beaten them before in round 2 of the upper bracket. But they will go into this match with a hunger for vengeance and of course for the trophy of this year's MSI 2023 here in London.
Lost in space, so